Right, well, Scott, I guess it's a pretty positive time for you, a good result, and sort of returning from injury as well. Everything feeling pretty good for yourself?
Yeah, feeling good personally. I feel fit now. I feel I'm over my injury, which obviously is a positive on a personal point of view. And to come on in such a dominating victory was also nice. And I thought the lads played really, really well, and we need to continue that now moving forward for the rest of the season.
Bit of a stint on the sidelines and a pleasing result. The team has struggled through the season to hold on for victories. Did you notice much different about being out there from, say, a month prior?
Yeah, it is very different when you're watching. I think everyone has the best games when they're in the stand, don't they? So no, it is. Obviously you look as a player, and as an older player now, probably look more deeply into moments in games. And I think the biggest difference for me against Western United to probably the MacArthur game was we killed them off by scoring goals at the crucial times. I think in any game of football, nothing against the boys who missed, but you missed 2 penalties. It could be 3-0, the game's done, and what it does is it kills the opposition then mentally. Western United, they were 3-0 down, you could see they just gone. They knew they weren't going to win, and that was, I feel like, the biggest difference for the last half an hour. We were in cruise control really, and like I say, in other games where it's only 1 goal in it, the other team always has a chance, and it always gives them hope. And when you miss chances as the team, the other team can often grow and gain confidence from you missing chances and not putting teams to the sword, and you leave the door open, so to speak. And against Western United, we completely killed them off by scoring goals.
As a defensive unit, how much have you talked about, I guess, wanting to keep clean sheets, and how pleasing was it just as a group doing that the other night? Yeah,
listen, you always want to keep a clean sheet as a defender, keeper, but I look again more deeply that I think a lot of clean sheets come from when your attacking players defend well, and likewise you create more chances and score more goals when the build-up play from your defenders and midfield players is better, and then the strikers just have to finish it. And I flip that round as well. I think the work that your number 10s or your wide players, your strikers, they do off the ball often makes it a lot easier for your back four, because I often think as a back four you're often quite last ditch, and you're more job for the team should be organising the people in front of you and keeping the ball in front of you. Often equates to more clean sheets and less work for your goalkeeper.
Now that you're back and ready for a start proper, any indication of positional wise where they'll look to utilise you this week?
Yeah, no, not sure. That's obviously down to the manager. All I've got to do is make sure I'm in the best shape physically and mentally as I can be. And like I say, I'm feeling good. I'm over my injury now, hopefully. And that's not my call. Obviously, it's down to the manager. But yeah, I think hopefully I'll get through training this week and I'll be available. Any
preference? Is it sort of centre back where you feel you could sort of offer the best stuff?
I think that's where I'm most of my attributes, especially in this team, come. I've played right back in my career, probably when I was a bit younger, in my career, in my time at Leeds. So I've played there, but not for a number of years, and I think probably best suited to centre back. Yeah.
What's the sort of sentiment amongst the team, just inside that top 6 now, in a position where a home playoff is still very achievable? Is that sort of week in, week out something that you're taking notice of quite prominently?
You listen, boys talk in the dressing room. We watch the other results when we're travelling, or they spread out across nights before and after our games usually. So of course you're looking at other games, you're watching other games, you're looking at their results. It's very, very tight at the minute. I think we've just got to be consistent. I feel that's the key in this league, in all leagues, but more so in this league. I don't think the gaps in terms of quality and squad depth is much from top to bottom. So I think the teams who are the most consistent are the ones who stick up there. I think we give anyone a game on our day. Melbourne City, we've shown that over the course of this season. I think they're just the most consistent. They do it week in, week out, and we've got to take Friday's the last game performance forward now and produce them performances more often than not until the end of the season.
Feels a lot must have changed since you first joined the team about a year ago now, with last season not having a real home base and everything like that. What's changed, do you think, in this team in the last 12 months now that you have the ability to train here, play home games in front of the crowds again? Has it been a noticeable difference?
Yeah, I think it has. Yeah, I think as a player you just ask for normality and an even playing field, and to live a normal life, being at home. Everyone's in their own beds. We have a training base, which we did last year, but it's not living away from home. It was sort of new for me. Didn't affect me as much because I joined in January, so I was straight there. But for the rest of the squad and the rest of the lads, it must have been really, really tough to uproot themselves and go and live in a different country, a different city. Sydney's a lovely place, but it's not home. So there obviously is them differences. Then there's the home pitch. I think we had 4 home pitches last year over different spells. I think we've actually had 4 home pitches again this year, actually, with Eden Park, Wollongong, Palmerston. So, but you know, most of the games are out at Sky Stadium. I think last year we were Wollongong, then we played a few at Leichhardt Oval, one at Strata, I think against Perth, and it's not ideal, you know, to be constantly changing home venues. You know, to have a home base is what you want and what you like. So you know, that's being better.
And adapting to Kiwi life for you, how's it been overall?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. Yeah, very relaxed compared to England. People just, you know, very easy come, easy go. So it is different. It took a while to get used to the swing of things and how laid back and relaxed everybody is. But you know, it's really good, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. Family are enjoying it. So yeah, no, can't complain.
Yeah.
Cool. And you feel ready to play 90 if called upon this week?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I feel good. You know, I would have loved to have got a few more minutes on in the last game. It's probably touch and go just before that. You know, as a player, I was always pushing that I wanted to play, but you know, fair play to the medical team. They probably said wouldn't have been the wisest decision. It'd be better in the long run to have left that game. So that was decisions made. You know, and hopefully in the long run it'll be okay. But yeah, I feel fine. Trained fully this morning. Trained fully a few days last week as well before that game. So yeah, all good.
And given how tight the ladder is, Mariners flying high in the second, how important is this game this week?
Yeah, big game. They're all big games now. You know, this is the real crunch time of the season. 9 games left, 27 points to play for. If we can win on Friday, we go level with them, that potentially join second. You know, so big game. Like you say, there's 3 teams on the same points as us, going down from us to 7th. So it's very tight. And you know, like I said earlier, we've got to be consistent and make the most of these games.
Fantastic.